Hello, listeners. We're here today with Kirsten Smiley. She is our managing director of the Southern California region for HVS. And we are here to talk about San Diego, one of the most vibrant, U.S. markets, certainly a leading market. And we want to hear the latest and greatest. How is it faring? Is it doing okay? Is it coming out of this economic time strong or weak or what's up? And Kirsten knows what's up. And so we want to hear from her what she's seeing in San Diego. Kirsten, welcome to our meeting today.
Awesome. Thank you, Rod. And I'm happy to talk about San Diego.
Great.
So this is one of
About-
my favorite market in Southern California.
Yeah. Tell us about occupancy first. What's the occupancy trend right now in San Diego?
Yeah, so the market last year was a little softer than expected. It ended at about 72% occupancy, down from 74% in 2024. And so the softness was mostly tied to the softer leisure travel, as many of us saw in 2025. And I think a lot of that also tied to the cuts in government spending. And since military and government spending was a major part of the demand in San Diego, and something that we don't think about is the higher education and the biotech, and a lot of this demand tied to research funding, and that was cut, and that raised a lot of concern last year, and I think that resulted in the softness last year. And what is the good news is that this year is coming back really strong, and as of year to date, the market is about 5%.
Oh,
And
wow.
we were expecting a softer year in 2026 because of the convention calendar and the wall. But it turned out through April this year, the market is up quite a bit. And it just speaks to the strength of the market in San Diego.
Okay, perfect. What about on the ADR side? Did ADR suffer last year, and is that coming back this year, similar to occupancy?
Yeah, I think ADR tells a similar story. And last year, the market saw a 3% decline in ADR. And that was actually the first decline this market has seen since 2020. But this year, so far through April, we are seeing a 10% increase in ADR. So it really tells the story of how strong the market is. As soon as the demand improves, the ADR follows.
Okay, perfect. So with this kind of strength coming a little bit unexpected, but really nice to see, are we going to start seeing more new hotel construction in San Diego?
Yeah, so the big one was the Gaylord Pacific that opened last year. It's a big hotel, 1,600 rooms. So that hotel alone added 2% inventory to the market. So it was substantial. And so it's even more encouraging to see that the market is up this year, even with this big box hotel that opened up.
Mhm.
And there's some other project that have been in the work that we are going to see it open this year. So for the longest time, San Diego was a little bit supply constrained, but some assets are coming online this year. So we're seeing the 230 room Lake Meridian that will open in downtown San Diego is part of a big mixed-use development, 39-story building.
Oh, wow.
And we are also going to see the dual brand True and Home2 Suites open in San Diego. And this is a project we worked on a couple of years ago. So I'm excited to see it move
Right.
forward.
Okay, fantastic. Lastly, I want to chat with you about sales. Have there been any notable hotel sales in San Diego? Anything of note of to chat about?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is a very active market. I live in LA and I do a lot of work throughout Southern California. And San Diego is one of the most active transaction market, even with this high interest rate. And we continue to see transactions happening in the works or coming about to happen. And the largest sale that happened was the Embassy Suites in La Jolla that was sold for 111 million last year. So that was a big price tag, about 330,000 a key, and it needed a big renovation. but it got a lot of interest. And because this is actually a meaningful price reduction compared to how much they pay for in 2021. Biomed pay about $226 million for it. So this represent a 50% price cut because of this basis reset. And I think back then the buyer probably had a different development plan. And now when all the hoteliers are looking at it and prices being reset, so it got a lot of interest. And that's one big transaction that happened. And a couple other transactions that happened, the AC in San Diego downtown Gaslamp district that just opened a couple of years ago. It was sold last year for 70 million, 500,000 a key. It's one of the more expensive, actually one of the most expensive AC hotel that was sold in Southern California. And one other sale was the Hotel Z, the former Stay Pineapple Hotel. And we also worked on it more recently, and it has a great location in Gaslamp District. So it draw a lot of attention and it has the potential to be converted. So definitely for regional buyers and owners that want to get into a market. So that one also got a lot of attention.
Okay, great. Listeners, as you can tell, Kirsten knows a lot about this market and a lot about the markets that are around her in Southern California. I encourage you to reach out to her if you're looking at an investment, need a study done, have some questions. She is the expert that you want to connect with. Kirsten, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great to talk about San Diego, and I appreciate your time.
Of course, great chatting with you.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you.